Shalom, here we are in chapter 12 of Mounce's Basics of Biblical Greek, 4th edition. We're going to go through the vocab for the chapter, looking at the digital version in accordance, and we're going to go through it like we normally do. Here it is. Always starts with alpha. It's in alphabetical order. Our first noun here is ion. And notice that the genitive is ionos, so we know it's third declension. Ion, ionos. And we might suspect that because of the nu here, that it is a stem that ends in a consonant, so ionos. It's a third declension, but it's masculine, ho ion. It means age or eternity. And we'll see, he says the idiom here, eston iona. So with ace plus, remember ace is a preposition that takes the accusative. That can mean unto the age, or we could have it in the plural. Es tus ionas, ton ionon, unto the ages of ages, something like that. Next we have, from the letter delta, didaskalos. And notice it's a second declension, so we have didaskalou, didaskalo, didaskalon, etc. Ha, it's masculine. And that's the word teacher. Next we have the word immediately, euthus. And then that's with a smooth breathing, but then we have heos. Heos is a rough breathing, and that means until or with the genitive as far as. Now we have a noun that you might think is feminine. Notice that ending there, mathetes. But look, it's actually a masculine. Mathetes, it's disciple. It's where we get our word mathematics. And it declines just like prophetes, another masculine noun that looks, it can look kind of feminine. Kind of makes you think of the first declension genitive definite article taste, doesn't it? But we don't want that visual similarity to distract us. So mathetes, mathetu, and it is disciple. Then we have a particle men, often with de, men, ... de, on the one hand, ... and then we have de on the other. That sort of construct we'll see men, means indeed or on the one hand. Then remember how we learned in earlier third declension forms the word for one. So hes, mia, and hen in the masculine, feminine, and neuter. Well, here, and then we learned udes, udemia, and uden. Here we have, instead of u, we have the negative particle me, mu, eta. So medes, medemia, meden means no one or no thing. Next we have the word for alone or only, manos. And then we have it in the feminine, mone, and then monon. Manos, mone, manon. Then we have hopos, how, or in order that. Notice that's a rough breathing, hopos. Then we have another adjective, hosos, hose, and hoson. Hosos, hose, hoson. Just like we had monos, mone, monon, we have hosos, hose, hoson. And it means as many as or as great as. Then we have smooth breathing, un. It means therefore or accordingly. It's usually means some sort of point has been made, and then it's going to say un something. So it's building on what has priorly been stated, and it's post-positive, like de and gar, like those other particles that are post-positive. Next, we have a word that might sound familiar to, ophthalmos. If you think of like an optometrist or something like that, ophthalmos, ophthalmu, ha. It's the word for eye, and it is a second declension masculine, ophthalmos, ophthalmu, etc. Then we have the word for again. It's palin. Palin means again. Palin. Then we have the word for foot, which if you think of iPod, that's actually root is pod. But we lose the delta in the nominative. Remember, with delta stems that end in a dental, whether it's a tau, a theta, or a delta, the sigma ending will wipe off that delta or that dental, whatever it is, theta, tau, or delta. So we just get, and we have a little vowel lengthening here, we get pus, so we don't hear the delta, but we do hear it back again in the genitive podos. So podos would be of a foot, podi, to or for a foot, etc. And notice it's masculine. And then finally we have huper. Huper is a preposition. It's where you get the word hyper. Hyper is like with the accusative is above, but with the genitive in behalf of or on behalf of. I think that's a typo. It should be on behalf of. Huper plus a genitive, or huper plus an accusative would be above. So notice our stats here. So of all the words up through chapter 12, if we multiply them out by the number of occurrences, we're at 87,000, just over 87,000 occurrences out of 138,000 total word count in the New Testament. So that's 62.99%. So we could safely round that up, 63%. That means more than every 3 out of 5 words you read. If you just start reading from Matthew and you just look at each word, on average, you're going to know and be able to identify and parse 3 out of every 5, just more, slightly more than 3 out of every 5 words. So good on you. Keep at it. And we'll see you next time with chapter 13. Shalom.